Toy Odyssey The Lost and Found is a 2D metroidvania-style action-adventure game from the Vietnamese developers Hiker Games. Drawing heavy inspiration from classic games like Castlevania The Symphony of Night, Toy Odyssey is a worthy addition to any fellow lover of these style of games within this genre. You play as Brand, who is an action figure come to life. Felix, who is Brand's owner, has started to have terrible nightmares, and he's taken it upon himself to figure out what's going on. Upon venturing out into the house, Brand is confronted by the darkness, a force which is slowly twisting and corrupting the house and turning other toys into monsters. Using a variety of abilities, weapons, and skills, you must explore and uncover the secrets of the house before it is too late. That's basically the premise of it. I actually thoroughly enjoyed my time with this game. I grew up playing Castlevania, and that game always held a special place in my heart. Out of all the various Metroidvania games I have played, this one probably feels the most similar to Symphony of Night. The jumping heights, the physics, the controls, it almost feels like they ripped it straight from the game, which is quite awesome because it's one of the best platforming games you could play. This helps the game feel very familiar, yet also have a very fresh feel to it due to the cool toy aesthetic. I really like the variety behind it because you'll fight many different enemies. They range from toy dump trucks like a Tonka truck to UFOs and green army men. The enemy design is fantastic, and it's always interesting to see what the next thing you're going to fight is. The bosses also have awesome designs, and they all have their own kind of unique challenge, so I won't really spoil them as they're probably the highlight of this entire game, in my opinion. Upon venturing out into the house for the first time, you're greeted by a fairly tough platformer. You basically got nothing at the beginning. You got a sword and you got an axe, so you're going to die quite a bit at the beginning. You can be extremely frustrated, but you don't want to get discouraged. You just invest your nuts, which is like the currency, into your armor and your health and all that other stuff. Make sure you put it into your boots early because they'll give you a dash as well as the double jump, which is extremely important. One of the mechanics that makes this somewhat frustrating, but not at the same time, is the fact that every time you die, the house gets rearranged into something else. It's all procedurally generated. When you first start, you have your house, and you will go through and you'll figure out where everything is. But the first time that you die, you'll go back to the main room and everything is different. You'll have to re-explore everything. I personally like that because it constantly gives you a new reason to explore. It gives you new environments to play. It doesn't force you into backtracking like a lot of Metroidvania style games are. A lot of them have a ton of backtracking. And I mean, if you're okay with that, you're okay with it. But that's part of the genre generally. So once you get a foothold within the game and you got your upgrades and you can survive for longer out in the house, we get another mechanic that slowly comes into play. Every time you go back to your base at the end of the night or you die, you have a chance of being raided by the forces of the darkness. They will take some of your materials, some of your nuts, various things that you need in order to either build defenses or craft weapons. I like the concept behind this, but the thing I really don't like is the fact that it takes real time to build things. It's almost like a mobile game where you have to build something and then wait an hour for it to actually build. That does not belong in a single player game. When I play video games, I tend to sit down and I play them for multiple hours. I don't just sit down and play for a half hour and go do something else. I don't want to be punished because I need to wait for things to build. It got to a point where if I started getting raided a bunch over and over again, I would just walk away from the game for a few hours in order to let things finish building. Another issue is you can only have one thing building at one time, which slows down a lot. It took me 2 weeks to beat this game due to the fact that there were lots of times where I simply had to wait for things to build because I wanted to get the things that are... I wanted to be able to have this stuff and be able to talk about what it is. And some of the upgrades, they take 5, 6, 7 hours in order to do. So you literally have to almost put the game down and go to sleep or something like that. The graphics are great. They have an awesome hand-drawn look to them, and it runs super smooth. Every frame is superbly detailed. I never ran into any graphic glitches, nothing. The sound, on the other hand, does have a few issues. Numerous times the sounds would straight up cut out in the rooms that you're not done with, and this leads to long sections of about 5 minutes with zero music due to it just not looping. It's weird and it's distracting. It's also happened between multiple rooms for me. So I'll be going one room, music will die, and I'll go through 2 or 3 more rooms after that, still with no music. And I mean, it's not a huge deal, but it should be something that's fixed because it does break quite a bit of immersion. The sound levels are also absolutely horrendous in this game. I've never played a game where the music drowns out everything else the way that it does in this game. You will need to adjust your settings or it's bad. The voice acting is very good. I actually quite enjoyed it. The story is not bad. I mean, it is what you'd expect from toys going into the house. There's no crazy twist or anything like that, but it is a very, very, very well-made game. So all in all, I'm going to give this game a 9 out of 10. I loved it. I found the game to be well worth the $17 that I spent on it, and I got more value out of this than I have out of some full-price games. It's a great homage to some of the classic games in the genre, and it's more than capable of standing on its own 2 feet within this crowded genre. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. This one's taken a little while. Next one up is going to be, I haven't decided, probably Mafia 3. Can't wait. Tomorrow we're going to be playing it. I can't wait. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe. Let's grow this channel. Make the reviews more popular. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Later.